Okay, the last thing we're going to do is actually use the idea of a scatter plot to make some predictions about the future. So right here we have a chart with the number of salespersons, a total sales, the number of salespersons, a total sales for 1 month for each vice president in a company. We know that these would normally be our X values. Here are our Y values. And all we're going to do is we're going to transfer this table into Desmos. Okay, so we're going to transfer this in. And just to remind us where everything is, I'm going to delete everything. And we're going to do plus, add a table. Again, here are our X's and our Y's. And it's very important that we pay attention. We take time to put in our information correctly. Then I've got 33 and 699. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I went ahead and I put in my information for my table. Notice that 19 does not have a corresponding Y, so we're going to go ahead and delete 19 for now because we don't know what our corresponding Y is. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put in my equation for the line of best fit. So I have Y sub 1, and we can find Y sub 1 by either using shift minus on our keyboard, or we can come here. Y sub 1 is similar to mx sub 1, hitting the over arrow so we get out of that sub spot, plus b. And this tells us that our m and our b for our equation, so we have 21.40 and negative 10.08. Those are going to be my slope and my y-intercept on my equation. So we can write the equation y equals 21.40 x minus 10.808. This would be the equation for the line of best fit. All right, this next question asks us to predict the total sales for the 7th vice president, which it tells us that happens at 19 salespersons, or that the 7th vice president has 19 salespersons. So there's two ways I'm going to show you how to do this. The first way would be to plug in 19 into my equation. So that would be y equals 21.40 times 19 minus 10.08. And then I would just get a calculator out and actually do that calculation. So I'd have 21.40 times 19 is 406.6 minus my 10.08 gets me 396.52. Okay? And that would be dollars. And this is a completely acceptable way to find the answer. However, since we have Desmos open with this information as well, I'm going to show you another way you can do this. To do this using Desmos, I'm going to ask myself, where is the 19? Is the 19 going to be an X value or would it be a Y value? In this case, it's going to be my X value, so I'm just going to say X equals 19. And we're going to change that color so that we can see it in a different color. Okay. So I can't see it right now, but if I zoom out, I notice that it's right here, and it is a vertical line at 19. If I go up, I keep scrolling or I keep zooming, I'm going to notice that eventually these two lines cross. We'll zoom back in. And what you're going to want to do is click on both of them. And this point right here is going to be where they cross. So if I just hover over that point, it tells me where x equals 19. My y is going to be 396.533. And that is basically the same answer as what I came up with here. I've got 39.6.52, and Desmos is telling me that the more accurate answer is 0.533. That's just from a rounding difference. Either of these are going to give you an acceptable way to predict outcomes based on the line of best fit. If they wanted us to work in the opposite direction, let's say they gave us a y value and we needed to find an x, the only thing I would change is I would change this x right here to a y. And that's one way that we can predict. If you want to instead plug it in and simplify, you can do that too. Either way is totally fine with me.